Oh, so folks, here's another video. This is a terrible. Once again, TYT doing coppaganda, and Anna's doing coppaganda. And this video is Vanguard, the Vanguard guys are calling out TYT, Anna Kasparian. But really, Anna, I guess she's by. I don't think she's by herself, or well, Anna eventually. And they're calling out Anna, who's calling out the majority report, because the majority report, it's like they have a segment on crime, and they're saying that crime is down, overall stats. And Anna calls them out on it, but she's definitely wrong. You're gonna see, folks, what she's and these guys are gonna explain why the Vanguard boys here. These guys are good for a clown. They're clown show themselves, but hey, they serve a purpose to call out people like Anna and Jink, certain leftists. You guys are still leftists, even though they get a lot of things wrong, but I gotta respect these guys more than TYT. You know what I mean? Even though they get TYT as, like some, well, I guess they do news. I guess they're supposed to do investigative news. I mean, so-called investigative. These guys are just, these are shit libs, or they just clown. But at least they stick to they're more like leftists, believe it or not. You know what I mean? I don't know what TYT is. They're definitely not leftists. I mean, they're more like centrists, moderate. They're moderate whites. These guys are somewhat leftist. I guess they're socialists. I mean, but Anna Kasparian is more than Jink. I don't know. TYT's are definitely like liberal, moderate, even conservative in some cases. I mean, I guess the other shows they're actually leftists on the Damage Report and Dr. Ritchie. I mean, they're leftist socialists, kind of, but that's about it. That's the only part that's progressive nowadays, TYT. Anyway, let's see what these guys say.
That soldier, that brother of ours. So yeah, Gavin, do you want to intro this? Anna Kasparian calling out Emma Vigeland for being too woke. I would wager. I haven't seen the clip.
Pretty much, yeah. So I have a couple theories as to why Anna decided to, randomly play a majority report clip in order to make her point in yet another propaganda segment on the Young Turks. As you said, Zach, shout out to our viewer Simon for sending this our way. I probably would not have seen this, as it's buried pretty deep within a TYT live stream. But let's take a look here. I thought this was definitely interesting on Anna's part, again, to select a majority report clip in order to make her point. I'm interested in your perspective, Zach, on the actual substance of this. Anna's basically trying to make the point that despite the statistics, crime is actually not going down, at least not in her beloved neighborhood, right? Ignore the statistics, ignore the data, trust Anna Kasparian. Like I said, I have some theories as to why Anna went after Sam and Emma that we'll get into in a second, as well as the response actually from Emma Vigeland and some of the other folks over on the Majority Report when they caught wind of this. Like I said, this is buried pretty deep in a segment that we're not going to watch the entirety of, but I think you guys are going to get the point.
This This means a quarter of the US population was not represented in the federal crime data. Reporting actually did improve a little bit the following year, with an additional 2,000 agencies submitting their crime reports. That's a good thing. But that means that 4,000 of them still had not, meaning the FBI's data was still incomplete. The two largest police agencies in the US, the New York Police Department and the Los Angeles Police Department, are still missing in the federal data. Politicians like Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
How are we going to scare people about crime, Gavin? Oh my God! Holy shit, bro! Oh my God! I can't believe it. When we look at crime and they say it's going down, they didn't even add New York and LA, two famously safe cities. New York City is safe as, bro. You got that place crawling with more pigs than the local petting zoo.
Oh my God. More pigs in a petting zoo. I like that one.
To tell you, I mean, you throw a rock, you hit a donut shop, and 5 police officers. It's absolutely ridiculous in that town. I swear to God. And I was just in Los Angeles.
Yep, it's like a fortress. He's like a freaking fortress. And they don't even stop no damn crime. I mean, still people getting us, people stuff like people still getting assaulted. There's a whole bunch of cops there. So what about that, Anna? I mean, they haven't tried to stop the women are they're getting assaulted in, I guess young women are getting assaulted on the street or something. Some kind of gang or something's doing it, or I don't know. Or it could be one person, and then they haven't been able to stop it. And there's so many more cops been added, so they're actually not doing anything. What are they for? I thought they're supposed to prevent crime, also, and protect the people. They're just protecting the property. That's all they're doing.
Crawled about every inch of that son of a bitch, right? My girl's family lives in the valley over there, right? And you only went to the valley? No, I went downtown because I hate the valley, right? And I was in downtown Los Angeles, and I hung out in WeHo, and I went to Venice, and I went all over that motherfucker. And did I see some poor people? Did I see some people that were eating out of trash cans? Yeah, that broke my heart, but it didn't make me want to throw them in jail. And okay, and people will be like, "You only went to the rich parts of Los Angeles." I don't know if you guys know this, but all of Los Angeles is the rich part of Los Angeles. It's expensive.
She just hates homeless people. I mean, oh my God. Really despises them. You know, I don't despise them. The ones that are crazy, well, we shouldn't despise them actually as well. Some of us do, be honest, but we feel sorry for them, and I mean, you know, sometimes I give some money. They ask for change at times. But her people like her, she doesn't, I mean, they're a millionaire. I mean, these people, she makes a lot of money. She really despises them. I mean, I don't know if she did. I don't know if she gives to. I guess she gives to charity. I'm not sure. I don't know, but she really despises them. I mean,
expensive as to live anywhere. Okay, you got to be like, you didn't go down to South Compton where there was public housing and man. Obviously not. I can see that shit in my own neighborhood. Okay, but fear mongering about this as it's not like a United States national issue. They try and act like LA and New York are like these scary ass places where they're so dangerous and they need a fear monger. This lady walks from an air conditioned studio to her Jaguar and gets on the Ronald Reagan Express, and she's just pieces goodbye and goes to her gated community. Okay, she doesn't actually experience any of the shit.
Yep. Super upper rich. And PMC class doesn't really care. Virtual signaling doesn't really care about so-called poor people. I guess she likes the middle class or upper. She cares about people in her own class, upper middle class. I mean, and her audience are mainly poor. young audience. Well, maybe now. Maybe it's not now. Maybe some of our audience left TYT. Maybe they're more middle class, upper middle class people. I guess. Who knows? And older. Probably. So they agree. They agree with her on crime and all this shit. So our audience now, they probably agree with her. I say. So maybe it's different audience in terms of what they used to be like years ago, like 10 years ago even.
What she wants to do is scare the old people, the 45 plus demographic. Like, oh no, my God, I like poor people as long as they're over there. I like black people as long as.
Yeah, 45 and up, that's their demographic, that's their audience now. It's hard to say, people, that's their audience. I mean, they're not the young leftist, left progressive, the leftists. More the moderate, middle class, moderate whites. That's their audience now.
They're over there. No, you know what I mean? I just don't know what to say around people like that. I just don't know how to act around people like that. I just don't know. It just makes me uncomfortable. That's her demo right now. That's her chief demo. Okay? Not people like us. Not normal people. People who own property, and who think that they're liberal, and they buy $450 bottles of Evian, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, dude. Plus, LA is already in the process of.
Yeah, exactly. Even they're saying it. That's their audience. If I'm right, they agree with me. He's saying it. They're saying it's their audience, most likely.
Trying to expand their police force. Karen Bass, who luckily beat Rick Caruso, but is still pretty bad herself.
Yeah, no help from TYT, by the way. They've been flag-waving champions of Rick Caruso, real estate developer, billionaire mogul. TYT abandoning all their principles about getting billionaires out of politics with that election.
You know why they hate Karen Bass? Oh, she's also look like a black woman, so that's even worse. Now you know why they hate Karen Bass. That's another reason why she hates him. She's a minority. That's another reason. Yeah, these guys are anti-black anyways. That's another thing, they're anti-black. So that's the reason why. That's one reason they would support the other guy.
As soon as it was convenient. They're the textbook definition of NIMBY liberals. They are not progressives. They are faux-progressives.
Totally, but
they're not the shit liberals, like, more likely.
It's just that Karen Bass is desperately trying to expand the police force in LA anyway. She's desperately trying to recruit and even offering a raise to incentivize recruitment, like I said. So I don't even really know what the point of this coppaganda segment is, other than just to pettily prove Emma Vigeland wrong or something. But you got what you wanted, Anna. There's going to be even more cops on the streets of LA soon to keep you safe.
Look at what I did.
Yeah, they keep harassing black people and other minorities.
Crime rates are down in my state. I'm such a winner. I'm such a great leader. But less than 10% of agencies were included in their 2022 FBI crime report. Of course, the left also relies heavily on this inaccurate data for its own purposes.
Yeah, the other thing I was going to add is that Anna actually wants us to believe that the cops are going to do their job and give us that accurate data in spite of...
Exactly. You dumbass. They're a dumbass. You go what the data you're given, right? I mean, they're not going to give you all the stats, the cops, anyways. I mean, like they give you certain stats. They're not going to give you everything, and they hide the certain things. They hide certain things. The cops.
All of the overwhelming decades and decades and decades of reporting that cops lie. Cops don't do their jobs. Cops forge paperwork. Cops throw away paperwork. They don't fill it out in the first place. They cover their tracks later. But she's expecting...
Exactly. They don't... They can't rely on it. I mean, totally. I mean, you do what they do what. See, you have to go by whatever they gave you. I mean, there's certain stats they're not gonna pull out there. They're not gonna give them to report certain things. They're just not.
Oh, once we get the data, yeah, the cops are going to give you whatever fucking data. We'll get them more money. Whatever the union can use as leverage, that's what they're going to give you. That's the data you're going to get for the police. And if you weren't dumber than fucking rocks or a liar, you would have figured that out by now.
Either way, here's the part where she's about to play this quick majority report clip to make her point about what a bunch of gaslighters we are over on the left. Let's take a look here.
Left also relies heavily on this inaccurate data for its own purposes.
Garbage.
Crime may be up in your neighborhood, but that's not what's happening nationally.
Yeah.
It's kind of the equivalent to, remember when Senator Inhofe brought the snowball onto the Senate floor to say, hey, climate change isn't happening, look at this snowball.
Right. I can look out my window and see that it's cold, and now I know climate change is not happening.
So if you can conceptualize of trends statistical trends as it relates to climate change, you can conceptualize of trends as it relates to crime, and maybe just try to get over some of your preconceived notions about certain kinds of people in order to get there and put that in the recycling bin.
All right, look, I don't know if climate change is a great analogy here, because unlike our rapidly warming planet, which leads to extreme weather events and, of course, rising sea levels that impact everyone living on said planet, crime spikes in cities impact those living in the cities. Honestly, who cares about the national data, especially
It's funny, too, because for one, the people of the majority report all live in the city. It's not like they're out in the rural-ass sticks or some shit. But second of all, she's like, She literally does what Sam said not to do at the beginning of the clip that she selected to play immediately. He's like, don't just focus on your neighborhood. You have to look at the national statistics. You can't just give...
So now they don't matter now. The national stats don't matter. I mean, she's saying that you didn't get all the stats. We didn't get so it was inaccurate. Or they didn't report all the... So now it doesn't matter. Which is it? I mean, so there's only one, like two cities matter. I mean, the crime's up, if it is up, and New York is down actually. So if it's up in here, so it's up in LA, that only matters. Everywhere else is down. This is something about her area, about LA or California. So it only matters. So it doesn't matter. I mean, that doesn't matter. I mean, because she once said that crime is up one time. Now it's actually down. When it was up a couple of years ago, she was saying crime is up and violent crime. Then when it actually went down, then she said violent crime is up. It's actually down. Now she's saying that what else, it doesn't matter now. It's up in certain areas. I mean, like she's changing the argument. Eventually crime, it doesn't matter, crime is down. I mean, it doesn't matter. But she's changing the argument. I mean, every time.
Anecdotes about the homeless man, outside your local YMCA or whatever that you bumped into. Like that's not going to cut it. We're actually trying to analyze the data here.
Oh yeah, she's afraid of the homeless man.
She immediately goes right back to, well, in my neighborhood.
Which is crazy because it's not even her neighborhood, bro. She's gonna act like, what do you think, that Anna's some like broke lady that lives in Los Angeles somewhere like shitty? What do you think this is? Like, this lady definitely lives in a gated community. I bet she lives near Jank. I bet she lives somewhere around Beverly Hills, somewhere like Orange County. This lady's not like slumming it, dude. There's no way. There's no way. So she wants to act hard out here. She wants to act like, oh my God, it's fucking society. Let me tell you what, Gavin and I have lived in, like, between the two of us, the West Bottoms, it's getting rehabilitated. Gavin's about to live in Yuppieville. But for a while, it was the Wild West, okay? I've lived in places where it was, like, not fucking, like, idyllic to, like, be walking around with a toddler or something, right? Okay? But that's not downtown Los Angeles. That's sure as shit not Manhattan, bro. You can't go anywhere in Manhattan and pay less than, like, $45 for dinner. What the fuck do you mean that there's, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? There's cops everywhere. It's like, These people don't know what it's like to go into a real poor ass, like fucking dangerous neighborhood. They do not know what it's like to go into a dangerous ass neighborhood at all. So they project all their fantasies onto a place like, oh, well, I went to the fucking, like, what's that, like, Grand Central Market in fucking downtown Los Angeles, and I saw a homeless black guy, and he had to do right on, and I felt threatened because, I don't know, he was getting the cheeseburger, I wanted to get a cheeseburger, I ate a fucking, Anyway, that's the meltdown that she has whenever she sees somebody that doesn't look like her, that doesn't have the money that she has, that doesn't have the lifestyle that she has. She panics, she freaks out, she assumes they're a fucking criminal, and then she has to go and make her so that she still feels like a good person. She gets up on her stool at the progressive network and then goes and vilifies and creates hysteria that will ultimately just harm and further oppress minorities and poor people across this country in the urban pockets that she's claiming she wants to uplift. It's deranged.
Yeah, and we're not going to watch this whole segment. I think you guys get the point. You've seen probably many segments of Anna Kasparian doing this shtick over and over again. But she basically goes on to try to manufacture consent for more police money, more police in general. She points to Detroit, I think, which in her analysis, the crime has gone down in Detroit because of the fact that they hired a shit ton more cops. And, that's what they need to do in LA, which is already happening. Like I said, they already are hiring more cops, and they're raising their wages and trying to hire
like a motherfucker, dude. They get paid like $180,000 a year to be cops. Can you imagine that? That's a lot of fucking money, guys. Even in California with their like insane tax structure for working class people, you're still taking home like 8 racks every month to be a fucking pig on the street, to be a domestic terrorist in public. Yeah. Like, no money in the world's worth it, but to these scumbags it is.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like, it's funny because people like Anna Kasparian are so convinced that us on the left, we're in denial about crime. Like, I'm not in denial about the fact that crime exists. No one on the left is just like, crime is not a thing, and if it does happen...
Exactly. It's just the overreaction to the like a bunch of right wingers. Anna and Jink. This overreaction, totally unhinged, reactionary. I mean hysteria and sensationalism. I mean, just bad.
Who cares? Like, that's no one's response. The thing is that on the left, we don't use crime, we don't use anecdotes to try to manufacture consent for more police money, more, of the city budget going towards the police department, which is basically proven in almost every instance to not actually help with crime. The point that people on the left are making is that if you're going to do a video like this where you scaremonger about crime, it should be to address the sort of societal failings that result in this level of desperation and crime in the first place. That's why so many people have pointed out that the infamous spike in crime that happened around the George Floyd protest was not actually a result of the George Floyd protest, as some people like Actual Justice Warrior will have you believe, and his biggest fan. No, it was
that guy's crazy. Yep, he's a maniac. Actual Justice Warrior. That guy's an anti-black racist, anyways. There you go.
Actually a result of the desperation that people were experiencing. Obviously, that's what leads to crime. 9 times out of 10, I don't know, most people don't just wake up in the morning and decide to go do bad things and commit crimes that could, end up with them in jail or their freedoms permanently removed. No one thinks that. No one wants to do that unless you're literally just a mentally insane person or something, which is also probably a result of intense desperation and societal neglect. So that's the point you should be making, right? And when lefties do talk about crime, when progressives do talk about crime, that's the framework they usually talk about it. Underline, not that this is why we need more cops and this is why we need to give more of your taxpayer money to the cops. No, that's not the answer, and the communities that are most negatively affected by the police will tell you that.
Reach on me. Love that shit.
I also did want to play a quick video from the Majority Report from the other day where they were kind of going after this Actual Justice Warrior guy who's like best friends with Anna. So I want to take just a few seconds of this in and then also watch their response when a viewer actually brought up the Anna Kasparian segment recently. Sure. These aren't very long, but let's take a quick look.
With using the FBI data as the source for national crime rates, let's scroll down. New FBI data confirms previous indications that crime in the U.S. declined significantly in 2023, continuing a post-pandemic trend.
And just
You see that there, folks? Crime is down in 2023. And Anna Kasparian still doing the damn propaganda. I mean, and you see what went on in the so-called crackdown on protests. See what the cops are doing, cracking skulls to young people, young students. See that's going on now. But crime is down, folks, and they're doing a damn propaganda. They're disgusting. These people, Anna, she's disgusting actually. I mean,
sorry to cut you off, but just to reference our buddy, the actual justice warrior, it doesn't say the post George Floyd effect trend. It says the post pandemic trend.
Right.
So like, it's fucking embarrassing, frankly. And I'll just say it. Anna retweets that guy. It's fucking embarrassing.
Anna retweets that guy. Matt, like,
wow, great. He calls out Anna. These guys call out Anna, the majority report. Yeah, it's disgusting. He's definitely right.
just like us, for real.
Yep, and that was from 9 days ago. And let's take a look at it from, I think, yesterday or the day before yesterday. Someone actually called in to ask about Anna playing the majority report clip and kind of coming after them. I thought this was pretty amusing as well.
Wait, I already read that. Hopeful one, why is Anna going after you? And Sam, she's implying you don't do research. I know I come here a lot and mention them, but I can't believe... I have no idea what she said, but I know I do my research and it's okay. Like, you know, I think I'm not sad about anybody criticizing me.
Yeah,
That's
no
fair.
way without heat.
I know that I do my research, and I know that, you know, our coverage on whatever.
But we haven't seen it, so yeah, give us details, because
What's the topic that we
you
do
know,
our research on?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure, but I feel pretty
I
confident.
imagine it's about cops.
I feel pretty confident
Oh, wow.
in my ability to research and our
She got rigged data. You got rigged data. So let's get it. Data's rigged. Hey, the coppers told me so. They told me. Rigged
Maybe
data.
it was about crime. Maybe it was about crime in New York City, something that, you know, myself and Emma and Matt Leck probably know nothing about. Certainly not as much as someone doing the research over in California.
He's being sarcastic.
With
I would say I will admit anti-cop bias when they come on the news and say that they looked at some fentanyl and then their face started melting like in Indiana Jones in the Last Crusade. I just assume that they're not telling the truth, but that's just me.
Yeah.
That's
So,
Same, Brandon. I also have an anti-cop bias.
That's how they lie, bro. You can't trust them.
Yeah.
I felt reinvigorated yesterday when I saw the cops lying in a way that really excited me. Like it was exciting to see them do this. This was the old.
I don't know what it's about, so I don't want to
I
get
know,
into
but
it.
I just want to say it must be really frustrating for an issue like Gaza to get in the way of wanting to rehabilitate cops.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. It's crazy. It's totally unhinged. Anna Kasparian is totally unhinged nowadays. This propaganda. I mean,
That's true. That's true. So let's speaking of
Pretty funny stuff. Emma's clearly eager to move on. I don't think she wants to get in the muck with Anna for understandable reasons, but I do think it's pretty funny how messy Matt was being there, just trying to bring on the beef.
Yeah, dude, I love Matt. Matt doesn't give a shit anymore. Dude, that dude's Twitter's wild, too.
yeah, so that's that. And yeah. It's really she's really disgusting. I mean, she's just damn disgusting. I mean, you won't get off this propaganda. Why she's on this propaganda? I mean, yeah, they're right, it doesn't affect her. Unless maybe I guess that she was, what did affect her in a way. She was attacked by a homeless person or something. I don't know. A couple of years ago. Maybe she's have traumatized from that or something. But she doesn't affect. I don't think that affects her because she's not in those areas. She doesn't live in a. She doesn't live in a poor area, so that wouldn't affect her. On the crime, so-called crime. I mean, but they're gonna have a lot more cops in L.A. anyways. That's the guy said. So to get ready for it's gonna be more worse. Cracking skulls. See, they crack skulls in the UCLA. See, how's that coppaganda going now, folks? They complain about the protests, how the cops are cracking skulls. So how's that doing? How's that coppaganda doing? They're gonna add more cops. There's gonna be more. Ha! How's that doing, Anna? More propaganda. You're gonna get more cops. It's disgusting. I mean, anyways, folks, I'm out.